Well, now family and being a father, just being a good dad, has really changed my perspective on everything I do. It's like having Joey, it's like I've got a little angel on my shoulder now who's looking over what I'm doing. So everything I do now, it sort of puts into perspective, like Joey's looking over my shoulder almost. Whereas before, it was probably a little bit more self-centered, things that are gonna make me feel good. Obviously, just being healthy now is a major factor because I want to be able to keep up with Joey as he gets older. Even now, he's starting to tire me out. He's not even running. So the other pillars for sure are just to live a life true to myself now. Before, when I was doing my old job, my old work, I felt like I was living under the shadow of someone else almost. So it's nice to be able to find not feel like I have to fit into a mold and be able to be myself.
Just caught up with Dylan and now we're going to Clifton Gardens to check out the marine life there. There is so much marine life around this one small pier that it's insane.
You're not 100% sure it is what you want to do until you start doing it. And even though I had left a steady job with a good income, security, and all of that, there was even months into starting my new career, I was sort of had self-doubt. But there was like a light bulb moment where it was like, wow, this is what I want to be doing. I don't think there's one particular path. It's like you have to find your way, and then when you find it, it'll click. It's not like, I want to do this and I'm going to do it. You have to do it, try it out, get yourself settled and sort of get into that environment and meet the people that you meet and are hanging out with, and that makes everything sort of click. Diving's not really like anything else, to be quite honest, that I've found. It is hard to explain because it's multifaceted. There's so many different aspects, and even the difference between being a dive master to an instructor, it's huge. Like if you were to ask me what do I love about diving, I'd have to say, what sort of diving are you talking about? Because there's things that I love about instructing, and there's things that I love about fun diving, if you want to call it fun diving. All diving's fun. But then there's also things that I love about guiding. Yeah, it's hard to explain or just put into one box because it's so fluid and so malleable or multi-dimensional almost, and that's the feeling that you get when you're under the water. When you get into the pillars and you just could stare at a square foot and there's a multitude of different little organisms and life just living on that one column. You could just sit there and just look at all the little animals. It's amazing, yeah? Diving, I was thinking about it earlier, and it's a massive release. Everyone says it's a huge stress relief, which it is for sure, but it's also a connection with like everybody in the community. It's like there's so many people from different walks of life that all come together on the weekend, and we all cram onto a boat and we all get thrown around, and we all, it's how hectic it is on the boat, and then we all get into the water together and have a great time. We get back out and it's just constant banter and constant chat and good laughs. And then it's a whole community. Like, it's just unbelievable. When you get into it and you find your rhythm, it's beautiful, yeah. It's not really because it can be so dangerous, but I think it's because it's more, you're only going to dive if you enjoy doing it. And if you get stuck in if you have that, I understand people are competitive, but if you get stuck in a competitive mentality, it takes a lot of the fun out of it, So it's like, I think, and that drops a lot of egos. And then in saying that, there's been a lot of forefathers in diving, So it's not like to reach the height or the deepest of deeps. It's pretty extreme. I think most people are pretty humble and pretty happy just to go stay within their recreational limits. Getting into the water, doing anything, whether it be surfing, snorkeling, diving, just going for an ocean swim, definitely brings that connection with the person to the water and everything in the water, and it really brings awareness to what's going on at the moment with destruction of the coral reefs, and you could go on and on and on, but it's super important. Like, mate, as soon as Joey's old enough, I'll be putting a tank on his back and showing him the underwater world so he can appreciate it as much as I can,